Chicago has a center, a loop as we call it, and everything radiates from that. And as a result, the downtown splits the city. North Side, South Side, West Side.
People boast about who's the best side, but there's a lot of segregation. Even nationally, the South Side is known as the black side. The North Side is known as the white, wealthier, more privileged side.
Rogers Park on the far north side is known as one of the city's most diverse areas, filled with restaurants and culture. It's a community that works to uplift and provide services to residents during the pandemic. Chicago Tonight's Joanna Hernandez and producer Marissa Nelson spent the day in Rogers Park as part of our In Your Neighborhood series. Joanna joins us now from the community area she actually grew up in, so who better to tell us about it? And she's got more news about new projects that are also coming to Rogers Park. Joanna.
Brandis Paris, that's right. This is the neighborhood that I was raised in. This is the area that my parents bought their first home in many years ago. I grew up going to restaurants down Clark Street. Now I get to tell you what Rogers Park is working on. Now, a street right next to this one, the Rogers Park Business Alliance is working on creating this new outdoor space for the community.
Gang, 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 man. Me, Red Slam, baby, G-Pop, Stancy right here. You know, we got the pipes and everything. You know, we on the A. Everything, man.
Really gonna be on 40 seasons. Can't believe I beat the streets. I give you 40 reasons.
Morning that there was a shooting there. Here's a look at the video just into our newsroom. There was a shooting near Howard and Paulina. We're told it happened right around 3:30 this morning, and one 38-year-old man was killed in this shooting. So we still have the roads blocked there.
A man is standing on the sidewalk across the street from an elementary school when he's shot in the back and killed. This was the scene just after midnight near Ashland and Jonquil, across from Gale Elementary Community Academy. Police tell us the victim, who was 41 years old, was rushed to St. Francis Hospital in Evanston, where he was pronounced dead. So far, no one is in custody.
Details on how this out-of-town visitor wound up murdered on Chicago's North Side, shot dead after an intruder broke into a Rogers Park apartment. CBS 2's Andrew Ramos is live in Rogers Park, where he caught up with the victim's family. Andrew?
That's right, Jim. Relatives of Quentin Pruitt tell CBS 2 that they believe he was simply at the wrong place at the wrong time while they seek justice. Residents here in the neighborhood say they want action taken at this complex where the tragedy took place.
Oh, no!
Relatives grieve as they learn about the shooting death of one of their own. 45-year-old Quentin Pruitt, who lives in Green Bay, Wisconsin, was visiting friends at this residential complex on the 7600 block of North Sheridan in Rogers Park. It was at this unit at around 3:30 a.m., police say. An intruder forced their way in, crossing paths with the victim.
There was a knock at the door. He answered. When they heard his voice, they began to kick the door in. And then at that point, they shot him, unfortunately.
Pruitt was shot multiple times by the intruder, who fled the scene through a back alley. When first responders arrived, Pruitt was pronounced dead at the scene. Relatives still trying to make sense of the tragedy.
He was a hardworking man, loving, fun, positive, full of energy and good positive vibes. And for this to happen to him is just devastating.
The residential complex where the shooting took place has long been riddled with problems, according to neighbors like Anthony Tausig.
Some neighbors have just moved away because they don't want to deal with these issues anymore.
From claims of drug activity to prostitution, the property, he says, has not only become an eyesore, but a source of issues.
Our local government officials should be doing more to keep.
Overnight, a man was gunned down in an alley in West Rogers Park. The body was discovered at 9 last night in front of a garage in the alley behind the 6400 block of North Campbell. Investigators have not released the name of the victim. The shooter has not been caught. There is no word on a motive at this time.
Hey, good morning, guys. Now, these shootings happened within an hour of each other. That fatal shooting taking place just here behind me. A 29-year-old man was killed last night. Take a look at the scene from last night. Police are saying that they had this area blocked off. This is North Shore Avenue and Clark Street corner. They're telling us just before 9 o'clock, 3 men were standing on the sidewalk when shots were fired. Now, that 29-year-old man died at St. Francis Hospital after he was shot in the chest. A 43-year-old man is in fair condition at Illinois Masonic Hospital after he was shot in the abdomen, and a 48-year-old man is in fair condition at St. Francis after he was shot in the face. Police are telling us that all 3 victims are known to police, and while they're investigating, no one has been arrested for this shooting. But just 4 minutes away, police are saying a 48-year-old man was shot. This time it happened near the corner of Ashland and Howard around 10 last night. Police are saying the man was also standing on the corner when the suspect approached him and fired multiple rounds, hitting him in his foot. He was taken to St. Francis Hospital in good condition. And just like the other shootings, no one is in custody, but Area 3 detectives are investigating both of these shootings. If you have any information that could lead to an arrest, police want you to contact them immediately. For now, we're live in Rogers Park. I'm Glenn Marshall, WGN News.
Breaking news right now, a 64-year-old woman is one of 2 people rushed to the hospital after an early morning shooting in Rogers Park. She was shot through a window of her home. CBS 2's Mike Puccinelli is live from the scene on West Jonquil Terrace with the details. Hi, Mike.
Yeah, we're in the 1500 block of West Jonquil Terrace right now. I want to step out of the way and show you the scene here. You can see this Buick Regal in the foreground with at least 3 bullet holes in it. That's because at around 12:40, a man in a hoodie, according to witnesses, walked up to this parking lot and alley and sprayed the entire area with bullets. 2 people were hit. A 42-year-old man was shot in his back and rear end. A 64-year-old woman was in her apartment at the time. That's when police say a stray bullet struck her in her arm. Both shooting victims were rushed to the ER and are currently listed in stable condition. Witnesses say the shooter approached from the east and began to fire indiscriminately at the small crowd of people. They say he never said a word and appeared to be calm while pulling the trigger numerous times.
I counted 14 before I started calling 911. The shots were still going on as I was calling 911.
Now, the woman who was hit is in that apartment building that you're looking at right now. It's not clear if she was sleeping at the time. Also, witnesses say there was another shooting in this same area back in September. That shooting, according to witnesses, was a fatal one. Reporting live in Rogers Park. Oh, and one other thing I should say, police are talking to someone right now who's in custody. They say charges are pending in the case, and they also actually recovered a weapon. So at this point, charges are expected. It's not exact.
Good evening, I'm Joe Donlin.
And I'm Erica Surgeon. Right to breaking news. 1 person is dead, another seriously wounded in a double shooting in West Rogers Park.
This is a live picture from the intersection of Estes and Rockwell, where the shooting happened about 4:30 this afternoon. You can see there is still a large police presence. It appears the victims were sitting in a black SUV when they were shot. Chicago fire officials tell us 1 victim was dead on arrival. The other is in critical condition at St. Francis Hospital in Evanston.